Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I am getting ready for work. I hope this lighting works. I don't have professional lighting. I'm using like a lot of lamps with whiter light. I hope this doesn't come out too yellow. I'm getting ready for work. You never see me during the nighttime because I don't have professional lighting, and I usually try to maximize my sleep. So that is that. Excuse my unmade bed. Was laying in it. I'm not gonna say I slept because I'm gonna start by clipping my hair back for this get ready with me. I've been having recently I've had to request a couple of days off, so my schedule has been very wacky where it's like I'll work 2 days, then I'll get days off, then I'll work 2 days, and then I get a couple days off because of the request off. And if you didn't know, I do work graveyard shifts, which is really brutal, but it's more brutal when you're going back and forth, and I'm coming back to work my 5 days straight tonight after having, I believe, 4 days off, so that's gonna be rough. I'm trying to get myself awake but tired at the same time, so I have a very mean cup of joe, and it is my Meghan Markle mug and Prince Harry. I hope I can get that. It's from the wedding. I got this when I was in London, and I was like, I had to get a Meghan Markle because I love her. I'm obsessed with her. And at work I love reading about the royal family. It's very entertaining to me, and I'm very much invested in their lives, and you know, who wouldn't want to be a royal? So we're getting ready. I'm in my robe, and I'm going to be using my makeup basket items because it's what I basically use for work, and I'm going to be talking about a couple subjects on here. So yeah. Let's jump in. I always start with my eyes first, just because if I get fallout or I want to change the shape, I can do that, and then I don't have to worry about making sure I don't get any fallout. So I'm going to be applying the Maybelline Master Conceal as as my primer, which is what I've been doing. So what I've really been wanting to talk about lately is kind of this this weird place that I feel like a lot of us in the project panning community are in. Not necessarily all of us, but I've been watching videos of people who feel this way, and I also feel this way. I'm gonna take my beauty blender to just blend that out, where it's we realize we have a lot of makeup and we're not buying a lot of makeup, and we're constantly project panning to use up our makeup, but then you know, the issue with project panning is you run into yeah, I'm realizing how much time it takes to use up certain items, and then it's you're working on certain items, probably the older items in your collection, and then you're letting all your new items get older because you're focusing on these older ones, but then at the same time you're still attracted to new releases. Not all of them per se, and I think that's kind of where I fall also. It's for a while I have not been attracted to makeup at all. I have been a part of YouTube since basically the beauty community started. I started watching YouTube when I was in 6th grade, and how old was I when I was in 6th grade? 11, and I'm turning 11/12, and I'm 22 now. So I've been watching YouTube and on and off making videos on YouTube for the last 10 years. More off than on. I'm going to use my Anastasia. This is from the Contour Kit. This is the light shade. I can show you. I just crushed it up in this thing because it's just easier to have it in there than having this ginormous chunky palette and then going in for this one. It's this one shade. I've been on and off on YouTube for 10 years, so it's I went through my makeup craze where it was just bye 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 bye, and I went through this makeup craze before most people went through this makeup craze, because again, I've been watching YouTube on and off for 10 years. I was there when Michelle Phan was big, The Fowler sisters were all about beauty. Who else did I used to watch? When Julia Graff like just posted like super creative and like intricate makeup tutorials, X Sparkage when she made, I mean they still make tutorials, but I mean their channel has definitely grown from just the artistic side, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I watched YouTube since the artistic side happened, so I was like, you know, again, I went through like the whole like starting out in makeup slash having a lot of makeup, and I'm finally out of that stage, and like I realize I've been out of that stage probably since like the beginning of 2016. I want to say 2015 was my last year of like makeup craze, what have you, and I feel like thank goodness I went through that before I went through that, because I feel like a lot of people now are still in it. Even like people I went to high school with are still in it. I'm going to be using my Inglot shadows and a crease brush, and I'm going to be using, I think, this darker, this less cooler tone. I mean, they're both kind of on the cool tone side. I'm just gonna put that in my crease. You know, everyone's coming out with new things every single week, and I just feel like everything's been done. There's nothing new that excites me anymore, nothing that's like amazing. Like, yeah, every now and then there'll be like something that I'm interested in, but I feel like everything has practically been done. Every shade has been done, every like texture, every finish has been done, and I don't know, like the constant new releases just don't excite me. Of course, like the beauty community still excites me, but like, yeah, like all eyeshadow looks have practically been done before, but it was like done in like low quality, or it's been done with products that you may not have or are discontinued. And obviously like these tutorials are done with newer products to stay relevant with the new releases, because again, this is a job for most people that are out here selling you items, I guess, or trying to sell you on products. So I think it's refreshing, and it's not like you remember every tutorial. It's not like YouTube is a big space. Like, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of makeup tutorials. So yeah, like looks have been done, and it's refreshing to like, yeah, even if someone has done that look before, like the quality, the camera quality is different, the products are different. You meet new people, and so that's why I think the beauty community is still like interesting to me, just like in the beauty community perspective. So it's like, no, I don't buy a lot of makeup, but I will buy the occasional thing that does call to my attention, because not a lot of things get my attention anymore. So I'm gonna use the Nika palette, and I'm gonna be using Buck on the outer corner, just to make that a little bit darker. So that's how I feel like with the makeup community. And you know, a lot of people's jobs, like I said, are to sell you these items. So I'm not like really in a place where I'm constantly okay with being trying to be sold items, I guess. I prefer following a lot smaller influencers slash people who do makeup on YouTube, because they're not at the point where they're constantly receiving PR. They're putting like their hard-earned money into buying their products, and I appreciate that. And I also feel like because they're not like under this microscope where everything has to be like, I had to promote this, I have to do this, I'm doing meetings, I'm da-da-da. Like, I feel like there's a lot more genuine content behind them. So those are the people I kind of prefer to watch a lot more. But I still watch a couple of big YouTubers like Raw Beauty Christy. I watch Asia Dang. She's not so much of a beauty per se. Like, she will do a couple of sponsored content, but she's been totally honest about it, because she's like, you know, I'm gonna do a lot more she says, I'm gonna do a lot more sponsored content because I'm trying to pay off my student loan bills. And I mostly watch her for like her financial stuff, because I think she is relatable. And she's not perfect, and she says she's that, and sip time. And I appreciate that, and I would support her and stuff. But anyways, I think I'm gonna do some gold on my eyes. So I'm gonna do half big on my lid. So there's that side of the beauty community, and then there's also the project panning community that I'm super interested in. And I love the project panning community. I think they have the people, like just the community in general is what definitely like took me out of the constant like shopping craze and always like buying just new products. It's work makeup, so I'm not really being like super special about it. And like I've been project panning since, again, I've been doing like the beginning of YouTube. I've never been like super serious / successful as I have been, obviously, like when I was younger, because I didn't like understand like the actual value of the products, and like I don't think I really like realized products go bad, and I definitely do now. So I'm definitely much more serious about project panning, but I still run into the issue of well, I used to run into the issue where I'm just like, I'm so sick and tired of using like the same things. I'm never gonna finish them because they take like so long to use up. Like I'm not being able to use my other products, and that's why I've started the makeup basket, because I like to combine a little bit of everything. Obviously not for a lot of things because I'm really focusing on them just to get them done by the end of the year, but I've definitely learned from the last 2 years of project panning, especially project panning a lot of like the same items that have been in the last 2 years. I've known like what you know, what takes a certain time. Let's not put 3 blushes in a project pan because a blush takes forever. Let's do 1. I had 2 this year, and definitely next year I'm only gonna have 1, and it's not even gonna be like my main goal to finish it. I just want to hit pan on it because I have so many blushes. Blushes take forever, and blushes go bad. You know, everything goes bad. So right now I'm gonna be using the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara for my lashes, and I have a mirror back here, so if I keep looking this way, it's because there she is, and I'm just gonna do it from this angle. My lashes are still slightly permed, but I'm not the biggest fan of this mascara with the lash perm. I feel like it doesn't really do much for my lashes, but usually like it used to do it when I didn't have like my lashes permed, but I don't know, maybe it's just because the lashes are like semi-permanently curled a certain way that I feel this way. But yeah, very basic gold eyeshadow. Again, it's work, it's nothing intricate, it's more for like this chit-chatting, getting ready with me process, but we'll have like intricate tutorials, don't you worry. With all of these like sales going on, like we just had the Ulta sale, the VIB sale just ended, and all of that stuff, like nothing really like called to me. Like the only thing that called to me, but not so much anymore, was like lipsticks, because you know I have like dabbled and bought like a few lipsticks, because I feel like everything else, I have everything. I have all the eyeshadow colors I could need that I would use. Like I don't have blues and I don't have greens, but I'm not going to use blues and greens. I have every blush, like with blushes, because like I know I've been working on blushes. I've worked on the same couple of blushes for all of 2017 and all of 2018, and they're still sticking around. I'm just very discouraged from buying blush because I still have a lot of it, and it's taken a freaking long time to use up. So I'm very discouraged from purchasing blushes. A couple of makeup items like on my wish list that I eventually would like to purchase, but I don't feel necessary to purchase because I have a lot. So I would have to like go through like a couple of things, and I don't know if I'm actually gonna buy them or if I'm gonna buy them in like 2020, which seems like a ridiculously long way away, but it's realistically a little over a year away, because 2019 is right around the corner, and that's just another year after that. So I don't know. But it's not like I need anything. So that's like where I am, and that's where I feel like a lot of people are also kind of like. And I was watching a video exactly like this. I cannot remember the video that I was watching. It was like consumerism versus anti-consumerism, where it's like this you know, if having a lot of makeup makes you happy, then be happy. But then at the same time, you have people telling you like, oh my god, you have too much makeup, like you need to declutter that because that is way too much. You're never gonna like humanely like go through all of that. But it's like, I don't know, do what makes you happy. Like if a lot of makeup like makes you happy, then have a lot of makeup. Personally, for me, I have the conscience of like, yeah, like you have all this makeup and it's fun to play around with and like you have never ending options, but the conscience of like it's all gonna go bad and like you worked hard for your money and that's gonna go all through the drain if you let it go back in and you don't use it, like hangs over me. And so it's like, where is the balance in that? And I think that's what a lot of people on YouTube are trying to figure out. For foundation, I'm using my Urban Decay Naked Skin. I really think about it. Like, I don't just buy something when I like it. Like, I let it sit for like at least a month. And like, I have to be thinking it. Like, I have to think about it for 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Which again is like a month and a half. Because I had to be like, okay, what do I have in my collection? Do I really like... Obviously I don't need it, but it's like, do I really want it? Like if it's still on my mind for that long, then I mean obviously like I've been really thinking about having it, but it's like, okay, what can I use up right now so I can justify like bringing that in? So I don't know, I've been toying with the idea of like having numbers to use up. So it's like, right now with like lipsticks, it's like, okay, I have every lipstick I want, but there's still like lipstick colors that like intrigue me that I don't necessarily have, because I feel like in the realm of lipstick it is kind of different. Maybe it's just in my head, I don't know how you feel. I do feel like there's warm and there's cool, and like the different shades do look differently on your skin tone depending on like where your skin tone's at, and there's of course finishes and all of that stuff. Well, I think more like eyeshadow and blush kind of just looks the same. Eventually it all just looks the same, like on your eyes. Like who's gonna tell? And that's my other thing, I'm just like, who's gonna like know the difference? I think girls who are really obsessed with makeup will know the difference, but even though this community seems really large, it's really not when you think about it. Okay, and then for powder, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Super Matte Powder with this It Cosmetics Fluffy Brush. I'm toying around with numbers. I don't know like if I'm really gonna follow through with these numbers next year, because it's either doing numbers or just officially just going on a no buy. So it's like I'm thinking like to buy a lipstick, like a colored thing, I feel like I want to go through like at least 3 lip items, and that could be either colored items, and like, so it could be like 2 lipsticks and then a chapstick. And I will allow myself to like buy 1 lipstick or something like that. And that's like the only thing I would think about, because blush, I will never allow myself to buy blush like in that replacement type of style, because it just takes too long and I have too much and it would go bad. Bronzers, I feel like bronzers, I don't have that many bronzers actually. I feel like the one, like use one up and then you can buy another one. I feel like that's a good number. Mascaras I've always been really good about. I've only ever like had mascaras that I am actually currently using. What's like another like eyeshadow? That's a hard one. I just feel like eyeshadows just have never, like, I feel like I have everything, so I just feel like it just doesn't call to me anymore. Like I'm like not excited about like eyeshadow releases. Like the last one that kind of like tickled my fancy, if you know what I mean, was the Anastasia Soft Glam. But then I was like, you know, just because like that presentation is nice doesn't mean I don't have those colors, because I definitely do have those colors. Of course I don't have like the exact same shade, but again, once it's on the eyes, like who's really gonna know besides you? I'll be doing some bronzer to warm up my face. It is my Too Faced Dos Caras. Duas Caras. I actually don't know. I don't remember how to say face in Portuguese. I was looking for this brush while I was saying that. So that's where I am. I kind of hope that I can bring myself to do a whole year of like no buying. I mean, but then I'm just like, I don't buy that much makeup. I would be fine not buying like a whole year, like not buying makeup. And of course that would be like replacement, because then if like I run out of like mascara, I'm not gonna go with mascara for the whole year. Like I only own 1 tube of mascara. So obviously like there's exceptions to that, like a replacement no buy, but I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be fine doing that, like realistically. So it's like the point is to change habits. I don't have the habit of buying a lot of makeup. Sure, I am very sparingly, I would like to say, when I use makeup, which is why I don't go through it that quick, or maybe I just don't wear as makeup as often as other people do. But that's not my issue. So it's like, what am I really learning from a no buy year? I just want to be a conscious consumer, and like being a conscious consumer for me means not having 50 blushes. And it's like, obviously, but it's also not having 2 blushes. Like, I like my options. I like to have fun. I like my finishes and my tones, and when I get a little bit tan in the summer, like I like to have blushes for that. But at the same time, I just don't want them to sit around and go bad because I spent my money. So it's all about being a conscious consumer. So I don't know if a no buy is for me, truthfully, like a whole year of no buy. But, you know, project panning is for me, but I really have to be smart about what I pick, because I can't, again, randomly pick like 3 blushes and expect to finish that, or like not being able to dabble into my blush collection because I'm working on these 3 specific blushes that I need to get progress on. This is the Cargo Blush and Bali that's like mangled and like falling apart, but you know what, I think I'm gonna finish her up in November. And oh, but I just breathed blush in. 1 second, and I'm alive. The reason I was saying it's sad is because that is a deluxe size blush sample that I got in a cargo purchase once, and I have the full size of that one, the exact same blush. So the fact that it's taken me about 2 years to use up the deluxe sample size blush and I still have the full size is kind of very scary to me. I'm gonna go back into the Naked palette, and I've actually been using Virgin as a highlight. It's beautiful. So that's my little rant I had to say about like the beauty community / the project pan community. I feel like the project pan community is growing and it's getting so much stronger, and I love it because people are being smarter and they're getting out of this like constant like consume cycle that the beauty community has become. Anastasia clear brow gel, you know, and while I get makeup is fun, I love putting on makeup, it's so much fun, but you know, I just feel like there's better things to put your money in if you already have everything you could possibly need. Like, do you really need another neutral eyeshadow palette? Like, wouldn't you rather put those $50 to somewhere else? Like I've started traveling, and let me tell you, I don't want to stop. Like, I am going to restart my whole like thing that I did to save my tips to save for my Europe trip. I definitely don't have to save as much for this other trip that I'm planning, but I definitely have to start saving, and there's other things I have to save for. So it's like, do I really want to put like $20, $30 on a lipstick or whatever, a highlight, a blush? And I'm going to take my Anastasia Dip brow pomade, and this one is the chocolate one, which I'm actually getting into using the chocolate one again. And I'm just putting it mostly in my little scar area just to not make her so apparent. And then because this brow is a lot more, I guess, thicker because of the scar, I like to make this arch a little more thicker just to match it. But it's like, would I rather, you know, those $30 that like you say, let's say you buy a lipstick a month because you feel like, you know, a month can feel like a long time for people, but let's just say if you're buying like 1 lipstick a month and you're like, oh, I only bought 1, but let's say you bought like a $25 lipstick, because that seems to be like the average price point for a lipstick now, which makeup prices are ridiculously going up. And that's like my other thing. It's like, why keep buying makeup like for that ridiculous price when it's like, if you used everything you have, it would take you forever to get to the point where you have to be like, oh, I had to put like $25 down for a lipstick. But let's say 25 times 12. I can't do math right now, so I'm gonna use my phone. Oh, it's a picture of me and my boyfriend at the Eiffel Tower. I just had to do that. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm being annoying. 25 times 12. That is $300 that you're spending on lipstick that you don't need. That's $300. That's like, that's a plane ticket just in the US, like round trip sometimes if you get it through like Expedia or something like that. So it's like, all right, let's say you spend, I don't even know, like some people will spend like $150 on skincare every other month. So let's just say 150 times 6. That's $900 that you just decided to buy on extra skincare. Like, what? That could go so far in the worlds of travel to like putting down stuff. So I'm just like, you know, makeup just isn't my priority. Like, you know, makeup doesn't, like every new release doesn't excite me because there's other things I'd rather put that money towards, and because I already have it. Like, of course, like I said, I'll indulge in like the new like lipstick that like calls to my attention, or like I'm like, wow, I don't really have that shade and it's actually really pretty and I actually feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use to it, then sure, I'll get it. But I feel like the key to everything is finding the balance, like, and for people being okay with balance. So it's like, I know people love like channels that are like specifically just makeup and makeup tutorials and like reviews and anti-hauls and all of that stuff, and then there's people who specifically just love like anti-consumerism and minimalism and declutter videos. But it's like, realistically, that's them. Those are extremes. Those are like personas or like lifestyles that they make a living off of, or they're just that extreme person. But I feel like most of us, especially coming from like the beauty community and like transferring to the Project Pan community, it's a balance. It's finding a balance, and I am finding my balance, and I think a lot of people are too. But I just think people need, not just the people who are finding the balance, because I feel like people who find the balance are the ones that are more like not necessarily like accepting, but understanding of where we're coming from, because most of us have gone through the same of makeup addiction to makeup collection to like makeup consciousness. I'm just using makeup, but this can be applied to like any life. But then there's like those two extremes where the people who are trying to be this extreme like don't understand this balance of like being in the middle. They really want you to either be on one side or be on the other side. So here I am, basically telling you that I am one of those balanced people, and I hope you can understand and appreciate that I am trying to be a balanced person, where it's like I'm okay with bringing in a couple of things, and I hope you are too. But I hope I do let stuff go / use things up, and I hope that's not like someone's gonna be like, oh, you said this in this video and now you're like being controversial because you're saying that in that video, and like other videos where it's like, yes, I'm trying to have less, but I also like enjoy like getting new things, etc, etc. So it's a balance. It's definitely a balance. So how many times am I gonna say balance? That could have been like a shot game on its own, like at the end. But this is where I'm gonna leave off because I have to get ready to work. I don't know what lip color I'm gonna wear. Yeah, it's probably a Project Pan one, so that's that. My lips kind of look pink on camera. That's because I was swatching like all my dark and berry red lipsticks, and now my lips are a little bit stained even with chapstick on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and made it through this long chat, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!